every single day, we put our trust and our money into online platforms. And we just assume they're rock solid, right? Built on this super sophisticated tech. But what if that feeling of security? What if it's all just an illusion? What if the digital financial world is actually way more fragile than any of us think?
And this right here, this is the question that just blows the whole thing wide open. It's like the ultimate stress test for any digital platform you use. I mean, think about it. If just one of their partners going down can freeze your money, well, stable is probably the last word you should be using. It's a disaster just waiting to happen.
And then you see this message. Deposits temporarily unavailable. I mean, that's the kind of thing that just sends a shiver down your spine, right? It's not just some tech glitch. It's a direct hit to your confidence. In a world that's built on trust, a simple little notification like this can start a fire that is incredibly hard to put out.
All right, so let's get into it. What's really hiding behind that dreaded error message? Well, a lot of the time, it's that whole move fast and break things culture. Prioritizing super fast growth over building something that's actually solid. We're going to lift the hood here and see that a lot of these platforms that look so impressive on the outside, they're built on a foundation that's surprisingly fragile.
Okay, so at the very heart of this weakness is a really simple but really dangerous idea, the single point of failure. The easiest way to think about it is like this. Imagine a giant, super complex machine with just one power cord. It doesn't matter how powerful the rest of it is. If that one cord gets unplugged, the whole thing just grinds to a halt. Period. So what are the classic warning signs of a fragile system? Well, here are a few big ones. First, relying on just one primary payment provider. That's like building your house on a single shaky pillar. But it actually goes deeper. You've got limited connections to liquidity, which basically means they don't have enough ways to get cash flowing. Then you add in a minimal, almost ghost-like media presence, and suddenly each one of these things becomes a major weak point. It really doesn't take much for the whole house of cards to come tumbling down. So, what actually happens when one of those weak links finally snaps? And believe me, it will. It's not some slow decline either. It's a rapid, four-step spiral into a full-blown crisis. It can paralyze a business before the leadership team can even hop on a Zoom call. And here's just how fast it all falls apart. Boom! Step 1. The payment gateway fails. Instantly, deposits and withdrawals freeze. The money just stops moving. And that's when the panic starts to set in. Pretty soon, customer questions flood social media, email, you name it. And just like that, the most valuable thing a company has, its reputation, starts to crumble. And that leads to this question. Is this broker in trouble? This is the question that should keep every single online business owner awake at night. Because the second your customers start asking this, you're already losing. This isn't a tech problem anymore. It's a full-blown crisis of confidence.
So is this kind of total collapse just inevitable? No way. Not at all. See, the serious players in this industry, they have a completely different playbook. They don't just cross their fingers and hope for the best. They proactively build resilience into every single layer of their business. So let's take a look at how they actually do it.
This slide really nails the two different ways of thinking. On one side, you have the retail operation. It's reactive, it's completely dependent on its tech, and it's constantly just putting out fires. But on the other side, you have the institutional brand. They focus on building a diversified system that's proactively stable right from the get-go. Totally different mindset.
And these right here, these are the pillars that hold up that resilient structure. Look, it's not about finding one payment provider that's supposedly unbreakable. It's about having several. It's not about relying on one stream of liquidity. It's about having a deep network of them. And, just as important, it's about building a strong, visible presence in the industry. Why? So that you are a known and trusted name before a crisis ever even has a chance to hit.
Okay, now we're getting to the real secret sauce here. The tech, the infrastructure, yeah, that's all absolutely crucial. Of course it is. But that's only half the story. Because when it comes right down to it, real, true stability, it's all about perception. And that is the key takeaway of this whole thing. You can have the most advanced, brilliant technology on the entire planet, but if people don't trust you, you're still building on sand. Real stability, the kind that lasts, is that perfect mix of solid infrastructure, strong public perception, and just rock-solid credibility, all working together. And that credibility, it isn't something you can just go out and buy, and you certainly can't just code it into existence. It has to be earned, day after day after day. It's built through a smart, strategic public presence and just being consistently visible. It's all about making that transformation from being just some unknown name into a name people actually trust.
So I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on. In a world that's basically built on code, we've become obsessed with the technology. But what if the most valuable asset you can have can't be found on a server at all? What if, even in our digital age, the most powerful force is still something that's deeply, fundamentally human? Credibility.